Wasi from Empower to Free. We empower young people to make confident and informed money decisions so that you can succeed and thrive in an ever-changing world. We do this mainly through money management programs that integrate self-awareness and life hacks. Learners typically learn through a mixture of content teaching, in-house games, and reflective exercises. Empower to Free believes in a world where everyone, regardless of gender, can make confident and informed decisions about money. This is fundamental in ensuring an individual's well-being and sense of financial security. Currently, the statistics show that in Australia, across all age groups, men typically earn more than women. Also, in a separate survey done, men have consistently ranked higher than women in financial literacy levels. If so, one would have thought that men would feel rather financially secure, yet that's not the case. In a survey that we did earlier this year, an overwhelming majority of males surveyed expressed anxiety about money in general. This means that even though the typical male earns more than females and is better able to manage their money, we still feel financially insecure. Why is that so? We believe that one root cause of this problem is the ingrained mindsets that men have around their identity, and we feel need to be financially to the people around us. Such mindsets amplify the pressure we have that makes us feel we are never good enough financially. Let's explore this further. We begin by defining financial security as the peace of mind felt when we're not worried about money. From a money perspective, financial security usually means having enough income for expenses, being debt-free, while having savings to cover emergencies. So, even if we earn more money, why do we sometimes feel financially insecure? One main reason is our identity role of wanting to be a good provider. This means not only do we want to be able to provide for ourselves, pay for our own expenses, we also want to provide for our loved ones, covering their expenses. Take for example, when we ask someone out on a date, most of us instinctively feel the need to pay for both. Then as we progress on into adulthood, we feel the need to be the main financial provider for our family. In order then for us to provide, we competitively want and have to earn more. This mindset of needing to be a good provider comes from the traditional masculine role our society operates in. For a long time, society operated heavily by having individuals leave out gender roles. From caveman days up to the 18th century, males were seen as the head and protector of the household, providing food and shelter to the family members. In recent years, there has been a shift in gender stereotypes, with greater emphasis and awareness placed on gender equality. However, many of us are still brought up to exhibit appropriate gender roles. Have you ever been the recipient of some of these comments, especially when you are just a boy growing up? Subconsciously, when we hear these comments, we take them on as ways we should or shouldn't behave. We have been influenced by peers and adults to meet the social expectation of men. Such comments would have reinforced your beliefs that to be male is to be a good provider to the people around you, and that the provider trait is core to your identity and self-worth. Already from our survey, 80% of men across different age groups feel that they are expected to provide for their family. Let's take a pause and reflect on this. Why is the male identity so tightly related with that good provider? Am I a good provider only if I'm the main breadwinner and earn enough money to meet all of my family's financial needs? Apart from being a good provider, 75% of men surveyed believe that as men, we should be self-sufficient. What does being self-sufficient mean? We often take it to mean that we must do everything ourselves and cannot ask for help or rely on others. For example, consider how you might feel now having to ask a girl for help. Does that make you feel very uncomfortable? Observe your thoughts around a homeless man versus a homeless woman. Who do you have more compassion for? This notion of self-sufficiency tends to put up barriers between me and others, which can be rather isolating. In reality, we cannot control everything that happens. Every now and then, we could all do with a bit of help from others, whether it's financially or emotional support. Especially when we work to be a good provider who caters for the needs of our family, it can be very financially challenging to earn and accumulate enough money not just to spend, but also save and be debt-free. Imagine doing all this alone. This mindset that men have to be self-sufficient is a result of men being conditioned to be provider and doer. As people look to us to provide and problem solve, our identity as males is that tightly related to our ability to be the one that can do everything. This sense of self-sufficiency then acts as a barrier to us asking for help. The reality of life is that humans are hardwired for community. We're not made to live life alone, carrying the full load of the family ourselves. We as males are also humans with limitations. And yet, many of us don't ask for help because we feel the strong need to be seen as self-sufficient. This isolates us, increases the pressure we feel in life, which contributes to the suicide rate among men. Let's now pause to reflect this. Why do we feel strongly a need to be self-sufficient? Does asking for help make me less self-sufficient? Remember, financial security is not just about having enough money to spend, be debt-free and having savings for emergency. It's also about how we feel and whether we are at peace, being not worried about money. We may think that we only will feel peace when we have lots of money. However, this is not true. One commonly neglected component of financial security is money EQ, which is the emotional intelligence required to handle money. Let's look at how this is fundamental in achieving financial security. Check out this snippet of the video by Ken Honda, which can be found on YouTube.
Money is what my father said. It's like a loaded gun or like a grenade that the pin is almost off. So unless you're careful, it's going to blow up. Because the relationship we have with money is universal. I've done a lot of money counseling overseas, and I've been amazed that it's almost identical. What kinds of problems we have and how to solve them, and how quickly it turns out it's about the same time. So I think it's very universal about money. And what I found out is that people want to learn about money IQ, which is about financial intelligence. It's about investing, how to buy stocks, and how to trade, and all the other things. But what I found out is that money EQ is more important than money IQ. Money EQ is emotional intelligence about money, how healthy you feel with money. A healthy relationship is that when you feel happy about money, your money EQ is high. When you constantly worry about money and you have fear on money, your money EQ is low. And the highest money IQ people with all the MBAs and all the doctorate degree, they are good at investing and they're super good with business. But these high money IQ people often lose everything because of low money EQ. Even though you build a high tower with money IQ, the foundation is shaky, it's gonna fall. So money EQ is a foundation of life. For example, if you get a $500 raise, which is great, but can you keep the money? Probably you will celebrate your raise and spend it all. And then if you get a $2,000 raise, which is great, probably you're going to move to a better and bigger house, and then you're going to probably buy a bigger car and more expenses go up. So even though you get a raise, you make more money, your expenses also are trying to match your income, so you have no money at the end of the month anyway. I have known many CEOs who are making a few $100,000 a year, but still they cannot keep any money left. because their lifestyle consumes all the money. So unless you learn about money EQ and have a solid foundation, you'll never be able to feel peace with money, and you'll never be able to achieve true financial independence.
The challenge often for men in achieving money EQ is that we're unable to talk about our worries and what goes on inside us. You probably would have heard about this saying, boys don't cry or talk about their problems. When we cannot talk to someone else about what is going on inside, this means that no one can truly get what we're going through. We then miss out on getting the emotional support that we need to get through the challenging periods in our life. Talking is not necessarily about asking for help. It can just be sharing what we are going through, the challenges we face, or a problem that we are stuck on. Select 1-2 people that you trust and are comfortable openly sharing your money worries with. When we can talk about what's going on in your life with people whom we feel safe with, that helps to reduce the anxiety we feel, improving our mental well-being when it comes to money. Let's now pause to reflect this. What holds us back from talking to others, but what worries us? Is it a fear of judgment, looking imperfect, or who can we have heart-to-heart talks with without judgment? Now, if you put together this common mindset we have that typically shape the identity of males, you can start seeing the challenges that hold us men back from financial security. For your task, I would like you to consider how we can become financially secure men of the future by redefining what our male financial identity should look like. Specifically, I would like you to hear about what mindset shifts we can have as males. For starters, put together your reflection from the question that I raised earlier. If you need a framework guide, you can download it using this link. Next, from your reflection responses, come together as a team and consider what mindsets you can change to work towards achieving financial security. The task guide has some guiding questions to assist you on the brainstorming and creation process. I look forward to your presentation.